Today I have a quick video on what I call the lonely construction hugger. The primary goal of the video is to provide a very simple example behavior that reinforces the standard search and then do. The primary goal of the behavior is to allow me to build things just past my logistics network. Small power relays extend by 8 cells, but I want to build them 10 cells apart. This means that I'm constructing towers just outside of my logistics network, which in turn means that they sit stagnant, unfulfilled, and lonely. If only there was a bot that could make these lonely construction sites feel less lonely. First, let's see it in action so that we know what we're trying to achieve. Here I'm expanding my logistics network, and you can see that I have 4 construction sites ready to go that aren't being serviced. They're outside of my logistics area, which is shown here in blue, and that means that they don't have the opportunity to have any orders. If I take a bot that has a power relay in it, and I bring it manually close to one of these, you'll see that immediately these lines indicate that it's being serviced, and it will start receiving items to build itself with. I want to do that behavior automatically. And so if I turn on the lonely hugger bot, as I like to call it, you'll see that it begins to identify these construction sites, and in just a few seconds it should start moving towards them. In this case, it selected this one as its new target. So it moves within range, and immediately it gets logistics items updated to it. And now it's moving over here past my carefully planned shot, and it will begin servicing this one as well. So that answered what we're doing and why we're doing it. Let's take a look at how. We're going to begin with a very standard search loop that's going to start with a nulled out target and then loop signal match over everything that our radar towers tell us is under construction. We don't actually care what tower tells us about it, we only care about the signal that they're sending. We're going to filter those signals further by using match in power grid so that we only have things that are not in our logistics network. And then we're going to update to find the closest one using SelectNearest. At the end of this loop, we either have the nearest construction site that needs help, or we have a nulled value. Sometimes we need to explicitly handle that null value, but this case we're lucky. What we do want to do is set a distance that we're going to move to the target. We're going to do that with SetNumber, and we're going to put that number into the target. This makes us stand near our construction site instead of on top of it, which would block construction. And then the last thing we do is move. So again, we found a target, and then we moved right next to it. The last step is to compile it, copy it, and load it into Desynced. We have our lonely hugger bot here without any code. So we're going to open its behavior controller, go to library, pick a folder that's short so that I don't have to scroll on camera, and copy behavior in clipboard with the load button here. And again, we'll see our clear, our loop signal with our further reduction and filter, select nearest, set our distance, and move. And as a very last step, we'll see it in action. So we're going to confirm, run, unpause, and we should see it identify these towers that are unserviced right now. And there we go.